Hi there, it's Nicole from Mama Elephant, and today I have a pop-up Easter card featuring the new Mama Elephant Little Painters, stamps, and coordinating dies, as well as several older Mama Elephant die sets and the Blessed stamp set. This card not only features full detail on the front, but the pop-ups on the inside creates a whole nother scene. So this video is a little bit longer simply because it is so detailed, and I wanted to leave the whole process in. The coloring parts are sped up to help make it a little bit shorter because there is quite a bit of coloring. To start, the frame for the front of the card is die cut from the Mama Elephant Framed Tags Park Avenue die collection. This frame is A2 sized. So while the frame itself is going to be A2 sized, the inside piece is going to be a little bit smaller as far as the scene goes. And I'm die cutting this from some nice heavyweight 110-pound Nina Solar White cardstock. Once I have this frame, from some additional scraps of cardstock, I will die cut the inside panel. So this has already been trimmed down. It's about 1/4 of an inch smaller all the way around than an A2 sized card. That's so that when you fold the card, it's going to fold correctly. I've already scored it and everything like that, but I'm going to die cut one of the Grassy Trio border dies from this inside panel piece. And this is going to be what's on the inside. This is where the pop-ups are going to be. It's going to allow those little hidden interactive features to not show on the outside of the card. So this is the inside panel. You can see the score line there. It's going to fit inside an A2 sized card just like that. All of my components are going to be white to start with. Also, from some scraps of cardstock, I'll die cut 2 more borders using the Grassy Trio border dies. This is going to build the scene for the front of the card. So not only is there going to be a grassy scene on the front, there's going to be the pop-up one on the inside. I'll go ahead and get that other border die cut. There's 3 different borders in that Grassy Trio. I'm using 2 of them for my card here, the kind of sloping hill and then the curvy one. I'm going to add some color now to these pieces using the ink duster tool and some dye inks. And I have a green dye ink and a blue dye ink, and that's all I'm using. The duster tool is incredible for applying dye ink to smooth white cardstock without those awful foam ink blending tool marks that I can't seem to avoid no matter how hard I try. What makes this great is dye inks might look a little blotchy. It looks a little blotchy here, but once the dye inks dry, they really do smooth out nicely. The ink duster tool just applies such a nice dusting of color. So this inside panel, I made sure the grassy border is very, very green, and then it kind of is green and it gradually fades to white. There's what the inside looks like. Go ahead, and while I have the green out, I'm going to apply green to both of the Grassy Trio borders that will be used for the inside of the card as well. Just pick up that ink with the duster tool, dust it on. You can build up the color and make it darker if you want to. There's what the 2 borders look like and the frame. Now for the inside, for the sky, instead of adding additional layers, I'm applying the blue ink directly to my side fold card base. This is just going to help minimize how much bulk there is on the card. And then I'm going to flip it open. So there's what it's going to look like on the front. Kind of laying everything out to make sure it's going to work. But what I'm going to do is flip my card open, and on the inside, above where that grassy tree or the grassy border is for the inside where the pop-ups will be, I want to have that be blue sky as well. There are 2 complete scenes going on in this card. So I'm going to dust on the ink here So when you open it, it looks as pretty on the inside as it does on the out. I'm going to take my stamps and kind of figure out where I want them to go, and then take the Mama Elephant pop-up trio dies and use a little washi tape to perfectly place that center seam on the scored line of that center panel of my card, and then die cut each of these little pop-up areas. So I'll pop this first one out, and what you're going to do is push that forward while you fold the rest of it, and that's going to create that little area where you have the pop-up. So I'm going to do another one. I'm going to grab one of the other pop-ups. You can use whichever size of these works well for the stamped image you're using. So I use the largest one for my largest image, and the rest are going to use the two smaller ones because the inside of the card is going to feature two little chicks and then like a little eggshell on the pop-up areas, and then I will build some more scene elements up above where that grassy trio is to really complete that whole scene so it looks really cute when you open it. There is the second little pop-up. Before I go any further, I will grab a greeting from the Blessed stamp set. This is a great stamp set for building your own greetings. This is from a previous release. It is not new, but what I love is that I could use the word Easter with blessings on the front, and on the inside I could stamp from all of us, which is what I just stamped right there using a black ink. Again, I'm going to just carefully use my washi tape to mark that center seam, flip it over, line it up perfectly with that center seam of my card, and I think it was not quite straight, so I'm going to do it one more time because it's really kind of important that you get that really straight so you don't have a funny little pop-up there. I'm going to have three kind of close together, and then that last one over on the left edge is going to be slightly further away. You can do them however you want to. I love that you can perfectly place these pop-ups anywhere you want to build your little pop-up scene inside your cards. And then push the pop-up area forward. Fold that in half. I like to use a Teflon bone folder to really score those well. And then I'm going to set that aside. I'm ready to do a lot of the stamping portion now. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp my greeting for the front using the rest of those greetings from the Blessed stamp set, the Easter Blessings greetings. I'm using my frame and my borders to figure out exactly where I want to put the greetings. I'm going to set those aside. I'll remove the frame, remove the grassy borders, and I'm using the MISTI so that I can make sure and get a really crisp stamped image here. I'll stamp this with black ink right there on my card base over the blue dusted ink. And I'm going to stamp this one on top of another. Then I'm going to take the word Easter and do the same thing. I cleaned the blessings stamp, put that back, and then I'm going to line up the word Easter and stamp it right above. And I ended up stamping it twice as well because the first one just wasn't quite as dark as I wanted it to be. It had a few light areas, and that looks great. So I am ready to stamp all of the cute Lil Painters images from the Lil Painters stamp set now. And this is such a fun stamp set for creating Easter and springtime themed cards. The bunnies and chicks are adorable. It looks like they're creating art projects. This would definitely not have to only be for Easter. It could work for other times as well. I went ahead and laid out a bunch of the images and stamped them all at once with the MISTI. I ended up needing more images than what I started out with, which is what oftentimes happens when you're creating a card like this where there's so much surface area. I'm so used to creating a card just the A2 front size that I kind of underestimated how many images I would need to really fill up the inside of the card as well. The chicks are all going to be colored exactly the same, with Y11, Y08, Y19 R00 for the cheeks, and YR04 for the beak. So I'm showing it here, but I don't think I'll be showing that again because they're all colored exactly the same. Adding a little dotted detail to the images. I did that to a lot of the images in this card, the eggshells as well, to really give them some character. So these two chicks have also been colored, and then I'm coloring in this eggshell with kind of robin's egg blue colors, 3 different shades, plus I used a little of the colorless blender where if it got a little too dark, it just kind of spread that ink out a little bit more. Also adding dotted detail to the eggshells. I love that this one eggshell has a cute little chick standing in half of it, and then you can have the broken half as well. I think it's just super, super cute. The bunny is going to be colored in shades of warm gray. He's very, very light. I wanted him to almost appear white, but just have a hint of color to give him some nice dimension. R00 again used for the cheeks here, and R20 for his nose. The hat, I'm using some shades of purple. I tried to go with a really pastel color palette to go with the springtime and Easter theme. I'm using BV0000, BV02, and BV13 for the purple little hat. For the paint palette, I've got orange, pink, yellow, a green, and also a blue. Put a little pink at the tip of the paintbrush here. This bunny is colored exactly the same as the other one, just the addition of some pink on the bottom of his paws. And then I'm going to color in his Easter egg he's holding with RV00, RV52, and RV55. Just a nice pink trio for a nice bright springtime pink color. The easel, the wood portion of it is colored with E55 and E57. The carrots are going to be colored with YR01, 04, and 09. These are going to make nice bright orange carrots. The tops of the carrots are going to be colored with YG01, and then the YG17 is going to just kind of be dotted in the lighter green areas to add some texture. And using the chisel tip of my warm gray 1 and 00 markers, I'm just kind of coming in from both sides to add some texture to that paper. I'll go ahead and color in the remaining paintbrushes with E55 and E57. A little warm gray 7 for the little area around the paintbrushes, adding tips or a little bit of color to the tips with different pastel colors I'm using throughout the card design. Go ahead and make the little beret for this bunny with color it with the oranges, so the YR01, 04, and 09. This Easter egg is going to be the same colors I used for the broken shell Easter egg, with the light blue colors of B0000, B00, and B02. I really liked these for the kind of robin's egg blue eggs. Another pink egg here. I even ended up coloring an orange egg using the same color combinations you've seen throughout. So the oranges, I've got a purple one as well. I ended up needing quite a few more of those than what I started with. I've die cut the images with the coordinating Lil Painters dies, adding black glazed pen detail to any of the eyes on the critters to really make them pop. And I'm going to start by doing the inside of the card, so kind of working inside out. Building the scene by adding the images that are going to go on the pop-up areas. I'm using some glue dots and will attach the cute little critters to those. So I'm going to start with the bunny first. I put a couple of glue dots here, to make sure he stays nice and strong, doesn't fall off. Then I'm going to go with another chick. Then the chick kind of sticking out of the broken eggshell, and then the little broken eggshell piece will be the final one on the left side. But these pop-ups provide just a great little area for these little images. So there are the pop-ups, so super cute. And at this point, is about the time I realized I was really going to need quite a few more images to make this whole scene. So I'm playing with some of the ones I already have out. I'm going to put a nice strong adhesive on one side of this inside panel. So I'm going to line that up with the inside, fold that, go ahead and put adhesive on the other side, fold my card shut, and that is going to secure the inside layer with the pop-ups. And here is where I can start building the rest of the scene. So I'm going to put the easel on the inside and some of the chicks and eggs and things. Before I do that, I went ahead and adhered both of my borders on the front of my card. Wanted to kind of guess how many additional images I was going to need. Trying to figure out which ones to put where, and I definitely wanted those two little chicks standing on top of each other for the inside. And I kind of wanted both of those legs, back behind the grass. Go ahead and add the little painting chicks. Easter eggs tucked inside. I'll go ahead and add one of them, but I will add another one after I get it colored. I'll secure the Park Avenue frame to the front of the card. That's going to kind of hide any of those edges and really give it a nice clean appearance. Color in some of those additional eggs. So another pink egg, the orange one, and a purple one. I've colored another chick. This is another little chick holding a paintbrush. He was colored with the same colors of yellow that I used for all of the rest of them. The tubes of paint are so fun. I decided I needed to use those as well. So some warm grays for the tube, and then the kind of label and the paint coming out are the colors of the paint. I've got a blue tube of paint, a pink tube, and then a yellow one as well. The paint bucket has some orange paint in it, and the bucket will be colored with the warm grays. Lots of painting tools, perfect for art-themed cards as well, I think. I love all these little images. They're great for building all kinds of different scenes. Go ahead and start building the scene on the front of the card now that I have all of these images, and put the palette in one of the bunny's hands. Go ahead and tuck my little chick holding the paintbrush next to him. And before I secure too many more things, I did kind of lay out a few of the images just to make sure that they were all going to work before I secured them with adhesive. I love the little egg with the feet sticking out of it. I think that's really fun. Add my other egg for the inside of the card. More eggshells for the front, and tuck a few of them back behind that back border. It's going to really make the scene more cohesive and flow a lot better. I'll add a few more images, secure these last tubes of paint, and this is going to finish up my Lil Painters pop-up Easter card showcasing the brand new Lil Painters stamps and dies from Mama Elephant. Thank you so much for joining me today for this Easter pop-up card. I hope this has inspired you to maybe create some interactive pop-up style cards. The supplies I've used to create this card are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos you might be interested in. One showcasing Mama Elephant bunnies, and the other one featuring another idea for a pop-up interactive card. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.